Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we are heading to Historic to explode some goblins. So let's talk about our super sweet Explosive Singularity combo deck. Jump into some games, see it in action. All right, so here's our exploding goblins deck for Historic. In this deck, it's super cheap, 11 total rares and mythics. Also, it's just kind of hilarious. The goal of the deck is to win with Explosive Singularity, 10 damage for 10 mana, except it has pseudo convoke. We can tap creatures to make it cheaper, which is the main goal of our deck. So often in our deck, one Explosive Singularity, by the time we cast it, is gonna be lethal, because we can chip in for damage in the early game with our random goblins. But if that's not enough, we can also copy Explosive Singularity with double cast to get 20 damage out of one Explosive Singularity and just kill our opponent on the spot. Of course, for any of this to work, we got to get the cost of Explosive Singularity down. And for this, we just have a million cards that make multiple 1/1 goblins. Goblin Instigator, Dragon Fighter, Krankos Command. Make 2 1/1 goblins for 2 mana. Goblin Gathering, Hordling Outburst. You see a pair of goblins, 3 mana for some number of goblins, usually like 3-ish. And that's kind of what our deck's trying to do. Early game, flood the board with 1/1 goblins, chip in for some damage, and then explode some goblins at our opponent to burn them out of the game with Explosive Singularity. We also have a pretty sweet backup plan. You see a pair of goblins can be a backup plan, just pumping our team with one of its modes. But the real backup plan, Cavalcade of Calamity, Raid Bombardment, ping whenever we attack with any of our goblins, because they're so little, ping our opponent for 1. So that essentially doubles the power of all of our random 1/1s and gives us some direct damage. Where it gets really crazy though, is if we also have Torbrand, which just adds 2 damage to any red source. Once we have Torbrand, every Cavalcade trigger, every Raid Bombardment trigger is hitting for 3. It's a lava spike in our opponent's face, so often one attack just kills our opponent. Mana base, Castle Umbreth, more pumping, more backup plans, a bunch of mountains, sideboard, a bunch of removal, artifact hate, graveyard hate, some life gain hate, and that is exploding goblins for Historic. That's our budget magic for this week. So let's jump into some games and see if it's possible to get the Explosive Singularity surprise kill in the Historic format with the help of a bunch of goblin tokens. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap up. Need some new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty cards? Well, you can get them from our amazing sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish and even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Budget magic time. We are exploding some goblins in Historic this week. I don't know if this deck's gonna work, but if it does, it's pretty funny. All right, yeah. I mean, well, we got goblins or we got an explosion. Can we get enough damage with the goblins for the explosion to be lethal, or can we draw another one? That is the question about it. Cephas, okay. Well, oh my god, this double cast. Oh, the problem is our opponent's gonna start gaining life though. So we can double Explosive Singularity in the near future. But this Cephas is gaining life. Opponent, double Wolf Willow Haven. I'll play the land. Hordling Outburst. No attacks. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, I want this combo kill so bad. This combo kill's so hilarious. Opponent. Wow, gonna Baffling End a token? Sure. The life gain's the problem. The life gain is the annoying part. Opponent plays a land. Destiny Spinner. That's also a smidge annoying. Opponent cycles. All right, well, I think it's attack time. Opponent passes. Ooh, all right. That's a good one. Torbrand. Attack you. Opponent blocks. Does not block. Takes it to 12. That's good. That undoes a life gain. Setescent Champion. Opponent's gonna draw more cards. Banishing Light Torbrand. Yeah. What? Okay. So I think our plan is just to try to make as many opponent. Are we attacking? Hordling Outburst. No attacks. We want this this combo kill would be so hilarious. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Calyx. Okay. Ticks up. Gets a Sterling Grove. Plays a Sterling Grove. Draws a card, gains some life. Draws 2 cards, gains some life. Baffling End. Passes. Well, play the land and pass the turn. Opponent plays a land. Calyx takes it up. Sigil Empty Throne. That's probably good for us. We're okay with our opponent just making a bunch of dorks because we're going to hopefully get this combo kill. Opponent draws cards, stars cards. Sterling Grove number 2. Angels, only 2 mana. I think it's happening. Opponent goes to 17. Draws a bunch of cards. Wolf Willow Haven, tapped out, 18. That is okay. Yes. Well, we will make some goblins. Untap. Got him. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Double cast. Explosive Singularity. At your face. At your face. Opponent drew half their deck. Did not matter. Didn't matter. It was too good. Oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. All right. Lava Coil, Flame Blast, Brittle Blast in. Go down. 1 raid bombardment. Go down. I can't believe that worked. Couple of instigators. Maybe we got on all the instigators and Torbrand. It worked. It worked. It's such a janky idea. I think the right cut is Goblin Gathering. The problem is cutting Goblin Gathering weakens all the other Goblin Gatherings, but I like that this can pump. That seems important to what our deck's trying to do. You know what, maybe we go down another Raid Bombardment, because I feel like because our opponent's an Enchantress deck, they just incidentally have Banishing Lights and stuff that can exile it. Not only good, but hilarious. That was hilarious. That's the most important thing. All right, let's double cast Explosive Singularity. Hopefully we keep drawing our 1 of double cast, which is kind of awesome. Well, we're gonna keep this. I expect that our opponent's probably brought in some Wraths. Wouldn't mind a removal spell to get like the first Cephas, but definitely would love to draw either removal or a 2 mana play. Going to 6, plays a land, passes. Well, Mountain go. Egg. You got a Cephas? Yes. Well, we draw more lands. We pass the turn. All right, well, this is back to being annoying. Opponent gonna start drawing cards, gaining life. Wolf Willow Haven does some ramping, draws a card. Sure. Tap land, gets in for 1. Well, here comes the Gobos. Hordling Outburst, go. Land. Cetessan Champion. All right, stuff's getting annoyingly big. Opponent's gonna draw 2 cards. Hordling Outburst. Yeah, I really wish we had drawn some removal. That would have made this a lot easier. And we're back in that annoying position where, because our opponents gain life, Explosive Singularity is not lethal. Opponent gaining life, drawing cards. Sanctum Weaver. Opponent is truly going off. Plays a land. Well, play the land. Cavalcade of Calamity. Go attacking. Do some pinging. Blocks. Okay. Well, we'll see. Opponent goes to 14. We pass the turn. Opponent has an insane setup, though. 3 Enchantresses, Sanctum Weaver mana. There's a Destiny Spinner. Does this mean we're dead? Perhaps. Yeah. So opponent draws a million cards. Yeah, there's probably a good chance our opponent can kill us. Another Sanctum Weaver draws a million more cards. Or they might be able to gain enough life that we can't kill our opponent, which is also bad. Another Sanctum Weaver. All right, so opponent still has roughly infinite mana. They're up to 17. Let's see what you can do with your Sanctum Weaver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So they still have 9 mana. We're kind of hoping they try to attack us. All right, there's the mana. Wolf Willow Haven. All right, so opponent is out of green mana, I believe. Draws more cards. Archon of Sun's Grace. Baffling End. Wait, does this happen again? Opponent's got 1 mana. Are we gonna have enough goblins? Okay. Are we gonna be one short? Oh, we're gonna be 1 mana short. Oh no! Exacxy. Oh my goodness. All right, opponent hits us. Hilariously, that baffling end saved our opponent. So we get to make 2 goblins, but we can't quite double. 5 and 5. We're 1 mana short. So yeah, our opponent's got it. Wow, the baffling end to hit a random 1/1 is gonna save our opponent. So close. Opponent discards a bunch of cards. Hey, it's removal, but it's a little too late. And yeah, 1 mana short. All right. Well, good news is that was super close. Also, we're on the play for game number 3. Yeah, run it back. Come on, deck. Come on. We were like ridiculously close to doubling up with the combo kill. We'll play first. Well, this hand can make a lot of tokens, although we don't really have a payoff for them at the moment. And again, we don't have any removal. I mean, I guess Castle Embereth is like a pseudo payoff, but well, Mountain go. Tap land, Mountain, and Kranko's command go. About it, you have the Sethis. Sethis, of course. Well, land and Hordling Outburst go. No attacks this turn. Opponent, land. Wolf Willowhaven draws a card, gains some life. Sanctum Weaver. All right, opponent's got the Enchantress Dream again. Oh, we just keep drawing lands. Go to combat, attack, pump. Oh, opponent takes 10, but that's not much against this setup. No, not like this. Oh, we've literally drawn a land every turn of this game. We have exactly our starting hand. And then a million lands. Destiny Spinner draws a card, gains a life. And Baffle again. Draws a card, gains some life. Infinite mana from Sanctum Weaver. Yeah, we really needed to draw a removal spell instead of just lands. Sterling Grove. Draws a card, gains some life. Another Baffling End draws a card, gains some life. And cycles a land. All right, how about drawing a non-land deck? Nope, that's another one. Oh, what a disappointing ending. Goblin Gathering. But yeah, I mean, our opponent just has it now. I mean, if you get to untap with the Sanctum Weaver and do this, then you win. Oh, opponent. Banishing Light, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and now they have these life linkers, so attacking doesn't matter. Still a little salty that one Baffling End came down last game, so we didn't get the double. What a dream that would have been, the double combo kill. Destiny Spinner. I mean, we can safely scoop now. We can't combo kill. There's not a draw in our deck, so. Magic gods. Well, we exploded them in game 1. Budget magic time. We are looking to explode some goblins this week in Historic, and this hand actually looks kind of sweet. I mean, we have Cavalcade and double Cavalcade. I mean, if we just hit our lands to get to this Torbrand, that's going to be a lot of damage. Opponent gaining some life. So opponent's Paradox Engine combo. Well, there's a land. Raid Bombardment. Hit you for 4. Is it going to be fast enough, or is our opponent going to get down a new again? Opponent down to 18. Opponent, 3 manas. Scries, up to 4 mana to the bottom. Key to the Archive. Pretty Bustarino. Well, Goblin Instigator. Hit you for 4. Would have been a nice time to draw a land. Well, opponent, down to 14. Interplanar Beacon. Shieldred. Well, we got a sack, unfortunately. Franco's command. No attacks. Yeah, I mean, not looking good. Not looking good. Jeez, approach of the second son of the key to the archive. Opponent doesn't bother to attack. We got a sack of Goblin. Dragon Fodder. We cannot draw this land past the turn. I mean, what we're hoping for is to one-shot win with this Torbrand, but we need to draw the 4th land. Replicating Ring. Mind Stone. Land for the win, please. We're running out of time. If we don't draw it soon, it's gonna be too late. Maze Mind's Tome. Come on, deck. Show us the land. We got a sack of Goblin. Okay, land. Torbrand. Attack you. Kill you. Oh, wow. All right, that was frightening and scary. But in the end, the combo. Raid Mod Varmint Torbrand and a bunch of gobos. Good enough. Wow. All right. Whew. Opponent had a really fast Torbrand and approach of the second suds. Still not enough. Well, destructive tampering in. I mean, I guess that's it. The tampering can blow up artifacts, I guess, which seems relevant. We'll go down. Couple of instigators, one raid bombardment. Run like that. I mean, we'll take the win. We'll take the win. This matchup's frightening because if our opponent's deck gets going, it can get out of hand really quick. Get a like really fast. I mean, we saw a really fast Shieldred. We're lucky it was a Shieldred and not like an Ugin or something. So this is a kind of hand that we got to keep. Tokens, working towards the explosion. Opponent, land, passes. Well, all right, we draw more lands. We would like to stop drawing lands. That would be good. Opponent, land, Mind Stone, getting their ramp on. Well, land and dragon fodder go. Opponent adapts. So we can blow up a artifact, which could be relevant. Hopefully we start drawing more. All right, Key to the Archive. So honestly, we're probably blowing up Key to the Archive with this destructive tampering next turn. Opponent. Well, I mean, I still think we have to do it just to keep him off the mana. So blow up Key to the Archive. Hit you for 2. I mean, we have so many lands that there's a realistic chance we'll be able to Explosive Singularity, but we got to get our opponent low enough that matters. Karn gains a bunch of life. Ticks down for Cosmos Elixir. In your end step, draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, you gain 2 life and scry 2. Well, Hordling Outburst. Play the land. We gotta hit the Karn enough that it can't tutor again. All right, so opponent's gonna start gaining life and eventually drawing cards. Can we get in enough damage to turn on this Explosive Singularity Mind Stone? All right, well, we know our opponent's entire hand. There's the Cosmos Elixir. They do get to draw a card. Karn. Well, actually turns on the Cosmos Elixir. No fear. I'll go to combat. 3 at Karn, 2 at our opponent. We're gonna lose a Goblin. Karn dies. Play the land. Goblin Instigator. Goblin Gathering. Pass the turd. Please no Ugins, no whammies. We need 2 turds. We need 1 turn of big attacks, and then we need the Explosive Singularity. We could also just draw a way to copy this. If we draw our 1 copying spell, oh my god, they leave it on top. Mega Godzilla, sure. Spins into Death Touch, fine. Draws a card. I'll play the land, go to combat. Everything at our opponent. Pump them. Well, opponent takes a big hit. The question is, do they find it Ugin? We got Explosive Singularity, which is lethal plus. Opponent, down to 7. Adapts. 2 cards. 1 creature is, okay, land. Planner Bridge. Okay, that's fine. That's too slow. I feel an explosion coming on. I feel an explosion. Opponent goes up to 9. Sure, that's not enough. We untap Explosive Singularity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tap them all. Going face. Oh, there it is. There's the Goblin Explosion. And oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That matchup scares me because Ugin's insane against our deck, but good enough? Good enough. Budget Magic time. We are exploding goblins. Well, we're gonna keep that. Sounds kind of funny. You see a pair of goblins Tron. You see a trio of pair of goblins. Found it mounted. Well, Kranko's command's actually spectacular. Gives us something to do a little bit earlier. If our opponent doesn't have like sweepers, just, okay, opponent's traditional goblins. Well, Hordling Outburst past the turn. Well, can we win the race? Opponent adapts. Hopefully they don't believe in chain whirlers. Who's the better goblin deck? That is the age-old question. Goblin Warchief. Opponent passes. Well, play a land. Torbran. Attack you. I mean, this means our opponent can't, yeah, it is nice. Opponent cannot play a Muxus next turn. Oh, blocks and blocks. All right. Yeah, opponent. Down to 11. You see a pair of goblins might be, are we the better goblin deck? Are we the better goblin deck? Opponent 4 lands. Krenko in passes. Well, we will go to combat. We will attack you. Opponent, are we blocking? Are we blocking? We are. However, I got bad news for you. Opponent's counting to see if they're alive. They are on board, but once we see a pair of goblins, definitely not. All right, who's a goblin deck? Now Muxus. We don't actually have a great plan for stopping Muxus. We can bring in a removal. We can go down a raid bombardment. We can go down an instigator. Maybe one explosive singularity in this matchup. And I guess instigator, you see a pair of goblins. All right, do some trimming, run it like that. Well, that was good. We got the win that game. That was actually a really aggressive hand. Torbran's actually a lot of damage. Funny that we're pretty much all of our creatures are goblins, but our deck would actively be bad with Muxus. Like Muxus would be horrible in our deck. Opponent, Prospector passes. Well, we will do some bolting. A better to depths. Mountain. Another Prospector. Well, land and Krenko's command go. Opponent untaps. Land. Goblin Warchief. Well, this means a Muxus could be coming down any second now. Go to combat, attack you. Gotta hope our opponent blocks and we get to pump. Opponent does not. All right, gonna take 2. Goblin Gathering. Opponent untaps. Are we getting Muxused? Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Ay, ay, ay. Well, now we're pretty dead. They're playing Chain Whirler. They're actually playing Chain Whirler. Okay, yeah. Well, that's an issue. You know what's really good about a deck that's trying to play all 1/1s? Goblin Chain Whirler. And a Chieftain. Yeah. Yeah, Goblin Chain Whirler, that's a good magic card. I mean, it's a good magic card. It's an insane magic card against our deck. Like, yeah, that's just a 3-mana Wrath. That leaves behind a 3/3 First Striker, which also stonewalls our deck. It's so insane against us. All right, we get to play first. Well, I mean, we're going to keep it. I don't know if it's good enough. We can kill something. We can Dragon Fodder. Gonna need some payoffs. Opponent appears to be mulliganing for the Chain Whirler, I assume. Opponent, Mountain. Skirk Prospector. Get rid of it. Payoffs. Payoffs, please. Well, it's sort of a payoff. Dragon Fodder go. Opponent Mountain passes. There's a double cast. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Hit ya. Pass. Mountain. Warchief. Well, make some goblins. No blocks. Castle Embreth, pump the dorks, hit you for 8. I mean, the question is, do they have the Chain Whirler? Do they have the Whirly Boy? Not again. Not again. Well, double cast. Dragon Fodder. Make some dorks. Oh. I blame London. Snoops it up. Ringleader to draw a bunch of cards. Snoop in a ringleader. Oh my god, we draw oh no. Oh no. And that's how we die. Oh, 7 lands out of 12 cards, not gonna do it with this deck. There's a reason we're only playing 22 lands. Oh, Chain Whirler on top, all right. Well, another near miss. Oh, another Chain Whirler. Ouch. Budget magic time. We are looking to explode some goblins in his dark. Unfortunately, Double Castle Embreth is not great. Not optimal for our deck. About it. Doing some mulliganing, which we will accept. Yeah, we're gonna get off to a bit of a slow start thanks to double tap land. Well, tap land go. About it taps. Hello to you, opponent. Forest passes. All right, that's nice. All right, Krenko's command go. That's good. The untap land's actually super helpful. Opponent, Mountain. Harmonic Protege. Well, land and Hordling Outburst past the turn. I mean, this is still incredibly frightening. Elvish Visionary, gonna draw 2. So this is just gonna undo all of our opponent's mulligans. Land our elves, about our bazes, or attacks. All right, no blocks. I'll play the land. Braid Bombardment, go attacking. Ping ya bunch. Oh, okay. Actually, hilariously, this means if we draw land, Explosive Singularity is lethal. We just need a land. That's all we need. You see a pair of goblins. I'll go to combat, attack, ping you. Blocks, blocks, blocks. Yeah, I mean, pump, win. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't get the explosion win, but it's nice to know we got a backup plan that is functional. Well, we're bringing in a removal. So the main goal against our opponent's deck is to keep Harmonic Prodigy off the battlefield. That is pretty much it. That is it. That is all. Yeah, we'll go down once you see a pair of goblins or not like that. I mean, that was a pretty impressive win, though. That was what, turn 4-ish? The 10 damage to the face would have been so sweet. Well, we did get a little lucky that our opponent was mulliganing, and we didn't get to explode him, but you can't always win by exploding goblins. On the play for game number 2. Well, okay. No removal. Sketchy, but I mean, we got a cavalcade and a bunch of tokens. Opponent. Forest passes. Well, land, go. Opponent. Forest. Burning Tree Emissary. Into Goblin and Archomancer. Well, land and Dragon Fodder, go. Doesn't appear to have any red mana. Fauna Shaman. Goes attacking, no blocks. Well, land and Hordling Outburst. Pass the turn. I mean, we're making a bit of progress. Only could tutor something up, but without red mana, what are they getting? Like a Llanowar? Discard Seasoned Pyromancer. Gets a Wreck Sage. Goes attacking. No blocks. Down to 12. Play the land. Cavalcade of Calamity. Hit you for 10. Opponent untaps. I mean, if they just play Rex Sage and attack, I think we can get him on the backswing with you see a pair of goblins. There's the Rex Sage. Kills a cavalcade. How aggressive is our opponent? Or we could just draw Explosion. We have exactly Explosive Singularity. We have exactly enough to just 10 our opponent for come on. Explosive Singularity would be so sweet. Are we attacking? No. You see a pair of goblins. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Hit you to 1? Yeah. Hit you to 1. Finds the red mana. Coco. How good is it? Cavalcade's lethal. Any of our enchantments are lethal. Explosive Singularity, not quite lethal. Now, play a land, so we can play Torbrand, attack. Our opponent will kill all of our stuff. They have to block everything. So they'll block. We could also use see a pair of goblins and Hordling Outburst. That might be better. We could also just wait and let's Hordling Outburst. Pass the turn. I mean, we just got to go wider than our opponent, basically. All right, another red source. Elvish Visionary draws a card. Well, let's see if our opponent can make enough blockers. We're going to have 8 attackers. Our opponent's going to need 8 blockers. We could also just draw the explosion and put an end to all these shenanigans. All right, Rage Forger for our opponent. Grows the Dorks. Wow, so close. Looking at our goblins. 2 cards in hand. We're not dead to the Rage Forger. Wow, full attack. Interesting. So, I mean, we do got to block enough to not die. I guess this works out, from our opponent's perspective, works out the same because we're going to have to, almost the same, because we're going to have to block something, but we don't have to block everything. Like, our opponent isn't dead on board currently. Currently, they can block everything, but they don't know about the you see a pair of goblins. All right, well, you see a pair of goblins. 2 1/1s. Sneaky All-Star. Torbrand. Go attacking. Oh, we got there. Well, we didn't explode, but our goblin tokens were enough. Ho, 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 ho. Budget magic time. We are exploding some goblins in Historic this weekend. And we're going to keep this. I mean, we don't have an explosion, but we do have Cavalcade and tokens. Seems fine. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Rock Veil and Gilded Goose Honk Honk. Opponent plays a tap land. Well, there's Explosive Singularity. Well, Dragon Fodder, go. It's actually kind of interesting. We have the double cast. I'm worried that if they have like Mayhem Devil, they're going to be able to snipe our 1/1s on repeat, which is probably going to be an issue. Oh my God. Dinosaur? There's also dinosaurs that just ping everything. Random enrage stuff. Oh dear, oh dear. Opponent. Zavala, sure. Passes. Well, land. Hordling Outburst and pass the turn. No attacks. We need like 2 more turns without our board getting Wrath, I think. Drawing lands would also be fine. Rotting Regisar. Okay, draws a card. Oh, that makes 7 mana. God. That's kind of insane. Land on dinosaur. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 3. Yeah, Zavala is an issue just because it makes so much mana and draws so many cards. All right, gonna make a bunch of mana. Marauding Raptor. And Ranging Raptor. And pings it to get a land. I am honestly not sure we live long enough through this start. Opponent gets a forest. And, okay, we definitely, wow, geez. Well, I mean, that's the power of having 7 extra mana, I guess. Umbral Naturalist. So opponent has run out their entire hand. The problem is we just don't survive this turn because Ronas can just trample everything up. So yeah, we're super dead. All right, yeah. Opponent, nothing to discard, draws a card. Well, that was explosive. Not the kind of explosive we wanted, but it is explosive. Opponent, land. I mean, just none of this matters because of trample. Like we literally just lose our entire team and we can't combo this turn, unfortunately. Opponent on the big attack, all right. Opponent figured out how to attack with their team and we will concede. That's a issue. We'll bring in our removal, go down, arrayed bombardment, instigators. And run it like that. Close, but yet so far. I don't know if we're gonna have a good record with this deck, but the idea is just it's a fun idea, and it is cheap. I mean, it is budget on Arena, so you never know. I mean, I guess we'll keep this. Cavalcade, Rain Bombardment, and Torbrand with some tokens is kind of ridiculous damage. Land, go. We do need to draw more lands / tokens, not more Torbrands. All right, Cavalcade, go. Better to depths. Come on, lands. Opponent, tap land, passes. That is a land. So play the land, play Goblin Gathering. Pass the turn. Opponent, untap land. Marauding Raptors, all right. Well, we draw the land, so play the land, play Torbrand. Go attacking. Pang ya. Opponent takes it. All right, well, let's see if they can kill us. Oh, this raid bombardment does close out the game unless our opponent can sweep away our board, which seems like a possibility because they're playing, dinosaurs. Yeah, all right, opponent. Forerunner of the Empires that can wrath our board, which is kind of unfortunate. Our opponent does need to play a dinosaur, and they will lose the Forerunner if they decide to do it. Well, we'll see. Opponent. Well, I mean, if our opponent isn't doing it this turn, then we're good. Because this raid bombardment's just, okay, opponent, whew. Well, we didn't get to explode, but we did get the win, which is not, wow, this matchup is so scary. Run it back. You know what's good against our deck? Things that deal 1 damage to all creatures. Pretty good. Pretty good. You know what's good in our deck, though? Torbrand and a bunch of raid bombardments. On the draw, game 3. Oh, show us a good hand, deck. Show us a good hand. Boy, this deck is so close. Every match we play, it feels so close. Win or lose. All right, I mean, we'll keep this. We do have a removal spell, not our best removal spell. We also have our wombo combo if we can get to it without getting our board wrath, which is a legit question. Opponent passes. Well, Castle Embreth, Krenko's command. Goblins 1 and 2. Opponent land on Dinosaur and Zavala. Go to combat, attack. Opponent's going to take it. Scary, scary, scary. Come on, deck. Land on Dinosaur. Rotting Regisar. Well, opponent has the full combo. Yeah, I mean, I think that does it. This is what we saw in game 1, where if you go Zavala into Regisar and you have the mana up, it's just kind of insane. And we have the Flame Blast Bolt, but not good enough to kill a Zavala. So our opponent, I mean, they have 7 mana now, or 6 extra mana, which is absurd, absurd, absurd. Yeah, I think we're gonna be just short. We're not gonna be able to make enough creatures. Yeah, makes 7 manas. And plays a Regisar Alpha, and yeah, now we are officially dead. So close again. So what did we learn this week about exploding goblins in Historic? And record-wise, we went 2 and 3, so medium record. Although I will say, a lot of our losses, pretty much all of them, were super close, like 3 game matches where we were like a card away, a turn away from being able to pull off our combo and actually kill our opponent. So even in a losing effort, the deck often felt really, really close to winning, even though it didn't win. I think the deck... I like this deck. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's super cheap, it's kind of medium, I would say, as far as level of competitiveness, but it is just really funny, and it is good enough to win a decent amount of games, but it is a little risky. The biggest issue we ran into was honestly just sweepers. Like, that's the downside of our plan. We're running out all these 1/1s, and we saw against like an opposing traditional goblin, like Muxus goblin deck, our opponent have Goblin Chain Whirler and just like play that and just undo all of our work, or a Wrath of God against control, or various sideboard sweepers, Anger the Gods, and so forth. Those cards are all really, really good against our deck. On the other hand, we got to see all the upsides of the deck. One is with the Goblin Token, Cavalcade, Hordling Outburst, all those shenanigans, we can close out the game really quickly. Like, we have games where we're just like Dragon Fodder into Hordling Outburst, into Torbrand, into Killian turn 5. Just run you over super, super quickly. So that is an upside. The other upside is no one expects Explosive Singularity, and we got a couple of wins just by exploding the goblins and our opponent catching them by surprise. Oh, I wish we had won that Enchantress one. The Enchantress game, we were 1 mana short from the double combo kill, but we actually pulled off the dual cast Explosive Singularity, double it up, 20 damage, which is really, really sweet. So sweepers is a problem, but the deck can win like an aggro deck, and the deck also has this janky, funny combo kill, which is oddly effective once we get it set up. So that's Exploding Goblins. That's been our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.